Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Karkadash. Shalom, to the lift up. And I'm going to title this video, The Great Prince which standeth for the children of thy people. Israelites. So this is Daniel 12:1. Now, if you check out different prophetic sites on Daniel 12, if not all, most of them. Give me a second. Just when I started, the phone rings. It's Grand Central Station. Give me a second. I was waiting for a call. I was hoping that the call was later. But anyway, let me get right into this. So anyway, it says, like I said, most scholars will tell you that Daniel 12, the 12th chapter is referring to the prophecy referring to the last days, meaning in our time. And some of them may say something else. Anyway, what I did was I did this the other day, but I was going to do a video the other day, maybe 2 days ago, day ago, whatever. And but I didn't, so I'm here and now. And I'm just going to deal with Daniel chapter 12 and the first verse. And I may do the rest of the chapter later. I may cut it up. I may do a couple of more verses. But the main thing I want to get at is, or cover is Daniel 12:1. So it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, which standeth for the children of thy people. The vision is to Daniel. Daniel was an Israelite. So this blessing is for Daniel and Daniel's people. So this has nothing to do with any other nation being involved in this prophecy being delivered. So, vocab alone can't use that term, concept, whatever you want to call it, supersessionism. We can look that word up. We did videos on that. And the word, not supersessionism, and what's the other word? Replacement theology. When you look up the word replacement theology, it would say also called supersessionism is when you read about Israel's blessings, that it's actually talking about, it's open up to all Gentiles, people that are not Israelites, because they're spiritual Israelites. And when I went to church, they taught us that we're Gentiles. I remember they used to say, they told me, they said, look, you are a Gentile. You are a Gentile, but you can be delivered or delivered. So anyway, I'm going to show you that these, because when we say something, if we're talking to a Christian, one of vocab's people, anything that we say, they'll say, well, that doesn't mean that. You got the breakdown wrong. That's the wrong understanding. What about the Gentiles in the New Testament? What about the Greeks? Oh, so the Most High came for two people. He came for Israel. All throughout the Old Testament, he was only dealing with Israel. Then he decides to add another nation on, which are the Greeks. Because I guess he came down there and had some shurma. He liked the shurma, which is like the lamb meat that they put on a skewer, which is very tasty. if you're not from New York, I don't know how gyros and stuff like that. That's a New York thing, but it comes from the Middle East. The Turkish make shawarma. The Greeks make it. Um, Other people of the Middle East kind of their food is kind of all pretty much all the same, slightly different, but it's some good meat, that lamb meat, you know. It's good. It's very tasty and delicious. So I'm getting back into this thing. So the Most High, he came down in the form of a man. He was hungry, and he got had a taste for something to eat, and somebody gave him a plate of shawarma, you know, or a gyro sandwich, and he said, "Oh, this is good. You know what I'm gonna do? I like this so much. I'm gonna add another nation to the salvation list, the Greeks." So if you Christians want to say, use the scripture, one scripture come to mind is Daniel. I'm not Daniel. Galatians 3 verse 28, when it says the Jews and then the Greeks, whether bond or free, whether male or female, whether Jew or Greek. I think it's Romans 2, if I'm not mistaken. The Jews first and also the Greeks. Then there's other scriptures where it says the Jews, then the Gentiles, but it says Greeks. So guess what? If you're not a Greek, if you're not an Israelite and you're not a Greek, you're not gonna make it. Well, the word Greek is a generic term meaning Israelites that were that whose foreparents left Israel. This is what the whole law of the stranger is all about, or the right of return. They went to other lands, to do better or whatever. And so in them having children and children and children, a lot of them kind of pushed the truth that they were Israelites to the side and pushed the Most High away, and intermarried with other nations. And those women or those men that married Israelite women, they followed the customs of those people. So they started following those gods. That's what fornication is spiritual fornication, which is adultery against the Most High. And another major thing was during the time of the Maccabees and Antiochus Epiphanes, where he forced the Israelites not to be an Israelite, not to call themselves Israelites, not to dress like an Israelite, to eat pork, not to circumcise their kids, to speak the Greek language. So that's why Paul spoke. He spoke Hebrew, fluent Hebrew, because he was an Israelite. He's of the tribe of Benjamin, but he spoke fluent Greek. Why? Because he spoke to the people in Asia Minor. Those people were Israelites. He was going to Israelites that were speaking the Greek language. And now Cornelius doesn't tell you what language he spoke, but I guarantee you he spoke Greek. I'm pretty sure he spoke Greek. So let me do this here. Like I said, I'm not going to make this long. It says Daniel 12, verse 1. And like I said, I'm doing this just to show you that when these Christians come up and say, well, that doesn't mean that, it's talking about all nations. Well, I'm reading from your scholars. I put the word Israel in there, and Israel's written 23 times. So let's read this again. It says, at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, which are the Israelites. And we're going to find out in a minute. And there shall be a time of trouble. And then the scholars are going to tell you the time of trouble as this end destruction. And the reference is, let me go to that. It says a time of trouble. The expression seems borrowed from Jeremiah 30, verse 7, where also Israel is spoken of as saved from it. Alas, for that day is great, so that what day? the day that Daniel 12 is going to take place. Daniel 12 and 1 is going to take place. It's getting ready to take place. So that none is like it. You can't compare it to any tragedy or destruction in history, because this destruction is going to shake the whole earth. There's never been a time in history where anything shook the whole earth, the very earth. It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved out of it? Not Jacob the man, but the sons of Jacob, which are the Israelites. It says, so this is Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. Oh, let me read this again. It says, and at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince will stand up for the children of thy people, the Israelites, and there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time, same time, and at that time, thy people, the Israelites, shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book of life. Written in the book of life. The book of life, or the Lamb's book of life, is also mentioned in the book of Revelation. Revelation 19, Revelation 20, and I believe Revelation 22. So if you put a book of life, you're going to get Lamb book of life, book of life. If you're not in the book of life, you're not going to make it. The people that are written in the book of life are the Israelites, but the elect of Israel, because you're going to have Israelites that's not going to make it because they're not written in the Lamb's book of life. Will they ultimately come into the kingdom? Of course, they're going to come into the kingdom through us. They're not going to sleep for 1,000 years like that stupid theory that the IUIC is teaching, that Roman Catholic bullshit. They're going to sleep for 1,000 years. Then after 1,000 years, the angel's going to get up, boy, get up. What's going on? What's going on? Nigga, you've been sleeping for 1,000 years. Now we're going to put you in the lake of fire. What kind of stupidity is that? Should sound like a script from a B movie. So let's go to Cambridge. It says Cambridge Bible, and I see I'm going to have to. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. I see I'm going to cut this short, but let's see where the. We're going to do the first, like I said, but I may just want to go through the whole thing to see what these scholars have to say. Remember this, I'm saying it for the third time. Anytime we say something, when we go to the scriptures, Christians will say, well, y'all just made that up. That don't mean that. Well, then again, are you going to argue with your own Christian scholars? When you Christians buy books from different scholars and doctors and professors and theological cemeteries, you open up that book and you say whatever it says, you go with it. Yeah, that's what it means. And the scholar broke it down. But when we say it, it's different. So I'm reading from your scholars. It says, Michael the Great Prince, i.e., the patron angel or saint of what? Israel, national Israel. Stand up as champion and defend Daniel 11 and 1. Daniel 10, verse 13. Hitherto the power of the prince of Greece. Right, because this is the prince of Greece. Let's read that. It said, also I in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And you know what I got to do? Let me click on this. You know what I'm going to have to do? Let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Okay, let me Daniel. Also in the also I in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the fourth shall be far richer than them all. What's that talking about? It is talking about 4 kings, and the fourth shall be richer than them all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all all against the realm of Greca. That's the Greeks. And this is in when you go into the history of the ancient Greek Empire, who was in power before the Greek Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire? That's so that shows you that the scriptures is a historic book. We have a saying: you have to know the history in order for you to understand the mystery. And a king and a mighty king shall stand up that shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will. That's Alexander. And when he shall stand up at his height, his pinnacle, his kingdom shall be broken because he's going to die and shall be divided toward the 4 winds of the heaven, north, south, east, and west, and not to his posterity, his children, his relatives, nor according to his dominion, because it's going to be split, which he ruled for his kingdom shall be plucked up even for others beside thee. So what is that talking about for you Israelites out there? And everybody in GMS should know the answer right off the head, right off the rip. That the king of the south shall be strong, and that goes into something else. I'm not gonna go all into this. So now let's come back over here. And what Christians do, I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong place. What Christians do is, let me do it this way. I have to bring this back up. Bear with me. Come on now. Let me do it this way, Daniel. Daniel 12 and 1. All right, let me go to commentary. See what comes up now. Do it this way. Okay, so we're back. Now let me bring up the word find. All right, 23 times. stand up as champion defender. Here, here, hitherto, the power of the prince of Greece. So he's telling you it's Greece has been unchecked. Now Michael in, interposes for his people, the Israelites, final deliverance. No, the final deliverance is getting ready to take place. The time of trouble, the expression seen borrowed from Jeremiah 30, verse 7, where also Israel is spoken of as saved from it. That's talking about saved from this destruction in this time, such as never was since. Gives you a lineup of precepts. Shall be delivered. The period of deliverance here spoken of is the same as the period of redemption described in Daniel 7. Beautiful. What does Daniel 7 and 18 say? But the saints, the Israelites, starting with the elect of the Most High, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever. So what does it mean to possess the kingdom? Whose kingdom are we going to possess? Esau's kingdom. The kingdoms are placed upon the earth. So there's going to be a transfer of powers. Daniel 7, you really could start at the 21st verse, but the judgment shall set, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it to the end. Daniel 9 and 24. Now they say that this Daniel 9:24 has nothing to do with end time prophecy. That's talking about when Yahushua came on the scene when he was cut off in 70 AD. That's what that's talking about. So Daniel chapter 9 has nothing to do with prophecies today. It has nothing to do with the Antichrist. Okay, so let me read here. It says there should be no break here. Daniel 12, 1-4 forms the concluding part of the angel's revelation to Daniel, and what is described in Daniel 12, 1-3 forms an immediate sequel of the fall of Antiochus. It's not talking about that. It's not talking about that. Because if that was the case, they would have spoke about it in the book of Maccabees, how, oh, there goes Michael, there goes the archangel talking about. Daniel 12 goes hand in hand with Revelation 12. The overthrow of the world power. Yeah, this world power is pictured by the author as accompanied by a season of trial, right, testing. Part of that is the charagma of the chip, perhaps political convulsions, out of which, however, the faithful among God's people, the elect, are delivered. We're getting ready to be delivered if we endure to the end. The resurrection of Israelites follows the age of bliss. The bliss is the kingdom, then begins the righteous. That's talking about now. It's getting ready to happen. So now, let me do this. 23 times Israel is mentioned. Stand up. Daniel, the vision of Daniel, stand up. This taken in connection with the function means he shall come for the help of who? Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, which is Jacob's trouble. People shall be delivered. But the nature of the deliverance is not indicated there. Cessation of a persecution would not be deliverance, for only Israel was persecuted. Right, the ones that are going to be delivered are going to be delivered from persecution. So we're going to be tested, and the main test is whether you're going to take that charagma or not. Who stands over the sons of the people, i.e., stands near protecting them, in the sense of coming to protect, describes Michael, who carries on his work as Israel, that Michael fighting for Daniel's people, which are the Israelites. I can close it right now. Here it goes again. Israel, Israel. And oppression connected with the appearance denote the sufferings with which the people of Israel shall endure Jacob's trouble at the destruction of Jerusalem. So we're over here for Jameson, Fawcett Brown Bible Commentary. Michael, the guardian angel of who? Of the Israelites. Thy people, thy people. Here it goes. It said the elect Israel. It said prince to comfort his people against the oppression of Herod. Right, that's another period in time. And the Romans by bringing in a glorious salvation. It didn't come during the time of Herod, which should wholly free the elect Israelites. I'm telling you, the elect Israelites, the Israel of the Most High, from the Roman yoke. Right, we're in the Roman yoke, but we're in the second leg of the Roman yoke, Revelation 13:1 on down. Both under the persecuting emperors and under Antichrist. You should say Antichrist, plural with an S. There it is again. All these scholars, they all say the same thing. They all agree that it's talking about the Israelites. Michael shall deliver Israel out of trouble. That's why it's called the time of Jacob's trouble. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.